Our dear women, on behalf of our male team, we congratulate you on this charming spring holiday, March 8. We wish you confidence in the future, lots of love, warmth, and all the best. Thanks to each of you for your valuable contribution to our common cause. If it weren't for you, visibly worried, Anatoly Viktorovich forgot the right words. His colleague, Oleg Petrovich, rushed to the rescue. Girls, thank you. You are best part. Good luck to everyone. And here are your gifts. We chose them ourselves. We hope you will like them. After these words, the men rushed to present their beautiful colleagues with bouquets of red roses and certificates to the cosmetic store. Yeah, that was unexpected. These things would always come in handy. Maria, the youngest girl on the team, accepted the gift with a smile. How nice it was! That was worth getting a job in this company 5 years ago. Masha worked as an accountant and loved her job, although she was sometimes exhausted. However, her adequate and friendly colleagues, loyal bosses, and good earnings forced the girl not to lose heart and not to give up even in the hard times. After the official congratulatory part, the women secluded in the office and decided to drink tea and talk. They discussed everything: how they would celebrate the holiday with their families, what gifts their husbands would give them, and where they would go. All the women shared their plans with joy and happiness in their eyes. Only Maria was sitting alone and did not say a word. Of course, others noticed that. "Maria, why are you silent there?" Lyubov Georgievna said happily. "I don't know what to say," Masha smiled sadly. "Are you all right? How is the young man with whom we saw you probably in the fall?" "I'm sorry, but I wouldn't like to discuss my personal life at work. Thank you all again for your congratulations. I wish you only happiness. And now perhaps it's time for me to go. See you." Saying these words, Maria almost ran out of the office. With a heavy heart, she went outside. Masha knew her colleagues did not want to hurt or offend her. They were just worried and wanted her to be happy. But how could the girl explain she was very lonely at 32? The topic of love and relationships was painful for Masha. She couldn't tell anyone that she always dreamed of a strong family, her beloved and only man, and 3 children. To achieve that, Maria tried to start with herself. She studied diligently, led a healthy lifestyle, played sports, read, drew, and developed in many directions. And most importantly, she was a sincere and kind person. Time went quickly. It seemed she needed just a little more patience to get everything she wanted. But nothing happened. Of course, Maria tried not to lose hope. However, there was too much pressure from the girl's family. Masha grew up with her mother and grandmother, who wanted their only girl to get married faster and learn new roles. "Who will need you after 25?" Maria remembered this phrase for the rest of her life. At first, the girl looked at the world with optimism and faith in the best, but as she grew older and failed in her relationships, Masha gave up and came to terms with her loneliness. The young men who surrounded her were not what they seemed at first glance. Masha's friends told her that she was too kind. That was why she attracted unworthy and problematic men. Perhaps they were right, but the problem was not only that. Maria wanted so much to find a worthy man and keep him close. Without noticing it, she devoted herself to her man, losing her individuality and trying to make him stay. Of course, such behavior is detrimental to relationships and will not lead to anything good, but the girl realized it later. Masha was walking down the street and could not calm down. She didn't like all those holidays she always had to celebrate alone. Of course, she could visit her mother, but she would talk about family, making Maria feel worse. Meet with friends? It was possible, but they had husbands and children, and she didn't want to interfere. What to do then? Masha decided not to celebrate that day. After all, it wasn't so much important. Finally, she would come home to take a warm shower, have dinner, and go to bed early for a good rest. And the next day, she would go to the store, buy some treats, and spend the whole day alone, watching movies, reading, and drawing. Those were her favorite activities. Smiling at her plans, Maria fell fast asleep. In the morning, an endless stream of incoming messages woke her up. The phone vibrated non-stop. How disturbing it was! Masha unlocked the screen with displeasure, wanting to find out who prevented her from sleeping. Everyone rushed to congratulate the girl. Her mother, friends, colleagues, and even her ex-boyfriend, Pavel. What did he need 6 months after their separation? Did the traitor think Masha, having completely lost faith in worthy men, would fall into his arms? No, she learned that lesson a long time ago. Not wanting to be upset anymore, the girl turned off the phone and tried to continue her sleep. But the attempt was unsuccessful. Masha decided to change her plans a little. She quickly got ready and hurried to her favorite coffee shop for breakfast. She thought all people were still luxuriating in their beds, and getting into the coffee house and taking a free table would be much easier than on any other day. Before leaving, Masha stopped at the mirror and closely examined the reflection. Why didn't she dress up today and put on beautiful makeup? It was a holiday, but why should she do that? It would do just fine. Surprisingly, the coffee shop was full of customers from the very morning. A little embarrassed by the abundance of people wanting to drink coffee, Maria was already thinking about going to a more secluded place. But a man's voice called her out. "Young lady!" Masha looked around and saw an unknown man. He probably confused her with someone. Something happened? Maria asked excitedly. "You are leaving the coffee shop too early." The man smiled. "I'm sorry, what? Is this some joke? I don't understand anything." Masha began to get nervous. "Let's sit down and I'll tell you everything." The man pointed to a free table. "Okay, but faster, please. I have a lot of things to do today." Yuri turned out to be the head manager of that charming coffee shop, and that day, in honor of March 8, the guys were holding a promotion. All female visitors who came before 2 o'clock in the afternoon could have breakfast and drink their favorite coffee free of charge. "Oh, I've never even heard of that." Masha smiled embarrassedly and continued. "Okay, then of course I will stay and happily take advantage of this opportunity. Moreover, your coffee shop is one of those I love most." "I am pleased with your assessment. I'll call the waiter to serve you. Make yourself comfortable, and happy holiday to you." dear girl, Yuri said sweetly. Thank you. Thank God Masha woke up so early for a reason. Well, her mood has improved noticeably. The girl no longer paid attention to couples but focused on her small joy. A delicious breakfast, aromatic coffee, and a cozy cafe. Wasn't that the perfect start to the day? Having thoroughly enjoyed what was happening, Maria hurried to leave the coffee shop. The sun was shining brightly. The weather turned out to be spring. The girl decided not to lose the opportunity to have a good time and went for a walk to her favorite park. There were a lot of people. Masha, she heard a familiar voice. The girl turned round and couldn't believe her eyes. She saw Yuri, the same manager of the coffee shop. The guy could hardly catch her and was out of breath. How could he find her? Yuri, is that you? What are you doing here? Were you following me? The girl was visibly nervous. Masha, you got it all wrong. Yuri smiled and continued. We can walk together. I'll tell you everything, I promise. Such frequent meetings scare me a little. Okay, as long as there are many people here, I feel calm. I'm listening carefully. The young people went for a walk to enjoy the fresh air. Maria, let's drop the formalities. It seems like I'm not very old, Yuri said embarrassedly. Okay, let's try. Good. Let's get to know each other better. No, please don't think anything wrong. I mean, we could tell a little about our lives. We didn't even have time to talk. Some strange interest in me, Yuri. All right, but then you will tell me how you ended up in the same place where I was. Okay? Sure. That was how Yuri and Masha began their communication. Walking through the park, sharing life stories and various memories, the young people did not notice it was getting dark outside. Amazingly, time flew by so quickly. It was so easy for them to communicate with each other. It's getting dark. I should probably go home. Tomorrow is a working day. I still need to prepare, Masha said sadly. Of course, I understand everything. Will you allow me to accompany you? I didn't tell you the most important thing, remember? About how you ended up in the same place as me? Masha laughed and continued. Okay, let's go. The girl was glad Yuri decided to accompany her. Firstly, the area in which she lived was not the safest. She did not like to walk through it alone late in the evenings. And secondly, it was an opportunity to talk at least a little more. And that was great. But it wasn't clear who Yuri was and how he found her. Having reached the entrance, Masha began a conversation. I'm waiting for your main secret. Who are you? How did you end up in the park today? I'll accept any answer as long as it's not the creepiest one. The girl laughed. Masha, I lied to you. The guy lowered his eyes and continued. No, don't be scared, please. I'm not a coffee shop manager, and there was no promotion today. I don't understand anything. How? Masha began to worry. Don't be afraid, Yuri smiled and continued. My brother Kostya works in this coffee shop. Do you remember the waiter who served you? So I came to see my brother. I saw you while I was talking to him. I noticed you right away. You were different from everyone else. You even looked scared. Then I saw you were about to leave the coffee shop. Therefore, I had to use my acting skills. I came up with some nonsense about the promotion campaign. I was afraid you would tell me to get lost, or I wouldn't believe me, but I believed you. Yes, thank you for that. I know it looks stupid, an adult man doing nonsense, but I didn't dare to come up to you and tell it like it was. So I asked my brother to help me organize the campaign. While standing behind the counter with him, I pretended to be busy solving some issues. But I was looking at you, Masha. Isn't that something? In my 36 years, I cannot remember anything like this. After divorcing my wife, I haven't experienced such things for quite a long time. It sounds beautiful, but somehow fabulous. Do you think I'm so lonely and unhappy that I'll believe anyone? Or I will fall into the arms of everyone who likes me? I don't believe in all that. Sorry. Masha hurried to end the conversation and was about to open the entrance door. But Yuri stopped the girl. I understand your life did not go the way you dreamed, and that's okay, but closing yourself off from all men and not trusting anyone because of your bad experiences is stupid. Please believe me, you don't see yourself from the outside. You are unique just the way you are. You don't strive to be liked or appreciated. You are a decent, honest and sincere woman, Yuri said enthusiastically. Yeah, I learned to be like that, Masha answered quietly. After you left the coffee shop, I ran after you. Can you imagine? I was afraid you would notice me, get scared, or go to meet your boyfriend, but I decided to make sure. I couldn't just leave you like that. I would regret it 100 times later. I understand, Masha, that's unexpected. You don't have to believe in the purity of my thoughts. But I ask only one thing. Give me a chance to show and prove to you that everything happens in life. You deserve real happiness. Don't push me away, please. Maria did not expect such a revelation from Yuri, but she couldn't say she didn't like that. With him, Masha felt somehow different than before. Was that the kinship of souls? Of course, it was difficult to believe a stranger, especially after previous failures. But Masha decided to give Yuri a chance to prove himself. And she did right. From that day on, the lives of the young people changed dramatically. They seemed to meet each other after a long separation. They felt easy and calm together, and their eyes shone with happiness. Yuri and Masha accepted each other for who they were. Perhaps that was love for which you could endure all failures. A year after they met, Yuri invited Maria to marry him and move into his new apartment. Of course, the girl happily accepted this offer. The young people still remember the story of their acquaintance and thank the day they were lucky enough to know each other. Miracles are around us. We only have to believe in them.